To this week's Monday Music Motivation. We have a little bit of a different topic today where we're going to be talking about taking breaks and why sometimes it's good to take a break and how to make a break effective. Because as we're heading into the holidays, I know a lot of people are very busy. Sometimes we are sort of forced to take a break during these times just because there's so many other things going on and it's hard to get to the clarinet. Now, of course, since this is about motivating you to stick with it and keep going, is if you want to continue playing the clarinet and you want clarinet to be a priority in your life, even during these busy times, it's 100% possible. All you have to do is schedule it, put it in your calendar, commit to it, and actually do it and actually practice when you've scheduled it. So it's completely possible to still fit in time, even if it's just 10 minutes here and there is still valuable. You can still commit to improving your musicality by doing other things that don't even require getting the instrument out. You can work on your subdivisions, exercises, counting. You can work on some like bullseye breath support, practicing maybe some buzzing, seeing if you can get, and even working on articulation speed while buzzing. There's all kinds of options for things that you can be doing that take very little time, but still actually help move you forward in your journey. But on the other hand, it's totally okay to take some time away and take a break. I think we often overestimate how harmful a break is going to be to our playing. We think if we take 2 weeks off, then we're going to have to come back to the instrument as if we're starting from scratch and don't know how to do anything. And our embouchure is going to be completely atrophied and weak, and we're not going to remember the fingerings, and it's just going to be a total train wreck. But that's really often not the case. And sometimes what I find is taking a break for a couple weeks or even a month can be really valuable because, yes, all of the good things that you know how to do get rusty. Your fingers maybe don't snap to the fingerings as quickly. You maybe have to sort of relearn what to do with your embouchure and what to do with your air a little bit. So, yes, those things get rusty, but also your bad habits get rusty too. So, there's can actually be benefits in taking a break because it's not just the good stuff that is you're losing a little bit, but you're also losing the bad stuff a little bit. And what you never lose, pretty much no matter how long you take a break for, especially if it's a shorter one, but even if it's years and years, you still have your knowledge and the sort of information side of how to play the clarinet. You know that you should have a flat pointed chin if you've learned that before. You know the air should be strong and focused. You know the fingers should be relaxed and natural, especially if you've been keeping up with the Quick Start Clarinet YouTube channel. Then you know all kinds of good information about playing the clarinet. The thing that is valuable though in the break is all of those automatic bad habits are gone. Most of the things aren't automatic anymore, which is a bummer if you were really good automatically. But it's an opportunity to sort of relearn a little bit and reset those foundational things, making sure that you're getting the embouchure and the air and the fingers and all of that stuff really good from the start. So it's totally fine to take breaks. In fact, breaks can be valuable if you come back to it thinking about that fresh start and really getting into it. The other thing that I think is really important as you're going into a break is that you're intentional that you're taking a break. It'll feel really bad if, like, during this holiday time, you just end up getting really busy all the time and just can't get to the clarinet, but you want to. You're like, oh, I really should be practicing, but I have to wrap the gifts. I have to go shopping. I have to cook the food. I have to, all the holiday stuff that always comes up, all the traveling that we do makes it really hard to get to the clarinet. And if the whole time in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, I should be practicing. I should be practicing. That's going to be really stressful for you. It's going to make it so you can't enjoy the things that you're doing. It's going to be harder to sort of be in the moment with what you're working on. But instead, if you think, okay, I know I'm going to be busy for these next 2 weeks, so I'm going to take a break from the clarinet. And that's going to be okay. Some things are going to be rusty when I come back to it, but I'm going to be able to reset those foundations and fundamentals when I come back to it. And I'm going to just focus on being in the moment with my family, with the shopping, with all of the stuff that I need to be doing over these holidays. It makes it so much more satisfying for the time that you're taking the break. And it's more satisfying to trust that you're going to get back to it. And my last tip for taking a break is schedule a time that you're going to get back to it. That's when breaks can become problematic is, oh, you got really busy during the holidays and the whole time you're like, oh, I should really be practicing, but you were just busy with other stuff. And then the new year rolls around and yes, maybe there's less traveling and less family get-togethers, but there's still always going to be things keeping you busy, and you're still going to have that mindset of, oh, I really should be practicing and getting back to it, but after I get done with this. And then next thing you know, it's like, after I'm done with last year's taxes in April, the next thing you know, oh, it's a really nice summer, I'm taking a trip, so I'll do it after that. And then that break can get longer and longer, and the whole time you're thinking, oh, I really should be practicing and getting back to it. So that's a really stressful way to take a break, and that can be detrimental because the longer you go without practicing and putting in the work, the more rusty everything's going to be, the more you're going to have to reset those fundamentals and figure everything out again when you come back to it. So schedule when your break is over, schedule when you're going to get back to it. And you can actually do that with our little template that we have. I'm not doing that for this week. I'm still working this week and still practicing this week. But the week of like right after Christmas, I'm probably not going to practice at all. Probably the few days before Christmas, I'm not going to be practicing much at all. But this is what my template looks like. Oops. This is what my template is looking like. I did a little whole year reflection. I'm going to talk a little bit about that next week, and sort of a goal for next year. But that most important part is that plan that on January 2nd, I am going to be live here for a Monday Music Motivation. I'm going to be scheduling in when I'm going to be practicing that week, and I'm going to be back to it just like normal for the week of January 2nd, coming back to it. So those are my tips for taking a break. I hope you all have a great holiday season, and enjoy yourselves away from the clarinet if you choose to, or stick with it, keep scheduling. This is mine for this week. I still have some stuff that I want to get done before the end of the year. I'm still going to be filling out my template for this week and probably next week too. I'll see you all next week and talk about it. But you can keep going if you want, take a break if you want. All of it's good as long as you have a plan and you're being intentional about where you're going in your clarinet and music journey. So thanks for being here live. I will see you next week for the next Monday Music Motivation. I'm going to take the week of the 26th off, so I won't be seeing you for a Monday Music Motivation then, but I will be back on January 2nd. Go fill out your template now. Even if you're planning on starting your break now, put in when you're going to be coming back to it. Put in if you're doing work this week and wanting to practice, fill it out just like normal. There's links in the description to get this actual template, or again, you can create it for yourself, just the date for the week, reflection of what's going on for you, goal for this week, and your plan for when you're actually going to do it. Then put that plan in your calendar. Go fill that out right now as I end this, and I will see you all next week.